Our story begins in 2018 in a small town in North Carolina. Jane Doe, a 37-year-old single mother of two, was rebuilding her life. After a tough divorce, she turned to dating apps, hoping to find someone who understood her. That's when she matched with a man calling himself Sergeant Daniel Reeves, a U.S. Army soldier stationed in Afghanistan. Rugged, respectful, romantic. His messages were kind, his compliments constant, and his story plausible. He claimed he couldn't video chat because of military regulations. He said he was looking for real love, someone come home to her. It felt genuine. Over the next 2 months, they messaged every single day. He called her his queen. He spoke of marriage, and she fell for him completely. But soon the crack began to show. Daniel started asking for favors. First, to help release a package stuck in customs. Then, to send money to cover urgent military expenses he couldn't access while deployed. At first it was $300, then $1,000. Then came a strange request. Send money to a contact in Ghana. That's when friends began to worry. The grammar in his messages slipped. His accent when he spoke didn't sound American. His photos looked too perfect, too filtered. One friend reverse image searched his profile picture and found it belonged to a real Army captain, married with kids, who had never spoken to Jane Doe. But she refused to believe it. She said, "People just don't understand our connection." Everything changed in early November. She stopped sending money. Daniel's tone grew cold. Angry, he said she betrayed him. And then the threats came. "If you don't do what I say, I'll ruin your life. I know where you live." A week later, her house was broken into. The front door was kicked in. She was found by her sister, barely breathing, unconscious, and bleeding from severe head trauma. She died later that night at the hospital. Detectives were stunned. Who would do this? And how did they know exactly where she lived? Her phone held the answers. Investigators pulled every message, every transaction, and every app login. The man she thought was SGD, Daniel Reeves, was really Oyewadabi Adewale, a 29-year-old scammer based in Lagos, Nigeria. He was part of a network of cybercriminals targeting lonely women across the U.S., and she had been their most lucrative target. What shocked investigators most was that Adewale had traveled to the U.S. using a fake South African passport. They tracked his digital trail, flight records from Accra to JFK, Uber ride logs to her neighborhood, CCTV footage of him buying gloves and duct tape at a local store just hours before the attack. The digital evidence was airtight. Oyewadabi Adewale was arrested in a sting operation 2 months later at a motel in Newark, New Jersey. He confessed to the scam, but denied the murder, yet the data said otherwise. He was charged with murder, fraud, and aggravated identity theft. In court, prosecutors uncovered over 40 victims of his online romance scams. He is now serving a life sentence. The dating app used in this case later introduced new AI tools for facial verification, stricter identity checks, and scam detection warnings. But none of that can bring back Jane Doe, a woman who just wanted love and trusted the wrong person. Stories like this aren't just tragedies. They're reminders about how vulnerable we become when we believe in something that feels too perfect. Here are 3 things you can do to stay safe online. White heavy checkmark never send money to someone you haven't met in person. White heavy checkmark use reverse image search to verify online profiles. White heavy checkmark be cautious of love bombing and emotional manipulation. For a more chilling, interesting story, consider subscribing to Digital Detective. We bring you real stories where technology meets true crime every week. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay curious.